Hey guys, welcome to my channel or welcome back. My name is Stephanie Nicole and today's video is a collab with my girl Amanda Sorrencioni. Check her out, y'all. And we are going to be doing the How I Met My Husband. I don't know if it's a tag or if it's How I Met My Husband tag, or we're just doing a collab of how we met our husbands. So, if you want to know how I met my husband, hang out with me. And then go hang out with my girl Amanda. Check her out below and see how she met her husband. So this is going to be like a complete surprise to, not surprise, but like her and I were on the phone the other day talking about it, like wanting to collab, and she was like, let's do the, I went to tell her how I met my husband, and she's like, no, don't tell me. Let's do a collab. I'm like, okay, girl, sounds like a great idea. So, here we are. Okay? Now, let's all take it back to 1999. Okay? My senior year of high school. And it was, I think it was like, it was basketball season, so it was like December-ish. Maybe the beginning of December of 1999. So almost the year 2000. And my mom had, has a good friend that would come over to our house all the time, and we all know each other's families and things like that. So my mom's friend was like, hey, my nephew's gonna be in town visiting. Can he go hang out with Steph and her friends? And my mom, of course, thinks it's hilarious. And she's like, yeah, sure. Like, I've never met him before in my life. My mom hadn't met him. He was from Kentucky, and, you know, this is her nephew that I had never met before. He was in the military, so he was on R&R for like 2 weeks, and he was coming up to Cincinnati to see his family up here. And I literally, my parents have been friends with his uncle and his aunt, like basically his Cincinnati family. My parents were friends with them before I ever met him, and before we ever knew really who he was, I guess. So anyways, taking it back to 99, December of 99, I think it's like a Friday night. My girlfriend Sarah and her boyfriend Jamie were gonna go to our high school basketball game because we always hung out together. And my mom was like, hey, Becky's nephew's in town, having, like, can he tag along with you guys? And we're like, okay, sure, yeah, whatever. And so I go home. I go with my friends are there, and I meet David for the first time, and I'm like, oh, hi, hey, how are you? I'm like, should I meet him? Hey, what's going on? And we were like, you know, David, this is Stephanie, this is David, and my mom and my mom's friend Becky are all like, I guess it was their whole plan this whole time. I don't know. So we go to the basketball game, then we go see Deuce Bigalow, Male Gigolo. If any of you guys remember that movie, I do. Okay. That movie was hilarious. And I actually got to see it with David and my friend Sarah and her boyfriend at the time, Jamie. So we all go to the movie. I think, where did we go afterwards? Did we go, like, I think we went to, like, Steak and Shake or something after the movie, and just kind of hung out and got to know each other a little bit more. And we all got to know David. And then, you know, that was it. Like, I took him back to his aunt and uncle's house, and that was it, you know. And then, like, a month or so later, it was my 18th birthday, and my mom's friend Becky, our family friend, of course, she gives me a birthday card that says, happy birthday. Here's David's email. Okay, now, mind you all, this is in 1999. This wasn't the day in the era of cell phones. Like, I had a cell phone, but you literally had to dial the area code first. So you were charged 39 cents on your home phone bill to call me. Okay, so this is when there was dial-up internet, AOL. You know that, if anybody remembers that. So I got his email from that, and I was like, okay, this is cool. He at the time was stationed in Schofield Barracks, which is in Honolulu, Hawaii. And there is a 6-hour time difference between Cincinnati and Schofield Barracks in Honolulu. So trying to correspond on the phone wasn't easy, plus it was long distance, and my mom wasn't cool with that. You know, this is the time and age where you had call waiting, but when you got on the internet, your phone was busy. So some of y'all might not know that. Well, maybe a few of you don't, but most of my subscriber friends probably understand that. So anyways, that was back in that day and age. So we corresponded via email a lot. Then we got on AOL chats and corresponded, like, kind of live at the time. Again, this is back in the day, in very early year 2000, that we were corresponding this way, and that's the way you kind of corresponded with people. I wrote him letters, like handwritten letters, and sent to him in the mail, snail mail. And we, like I said, corresponded via email. The day I graduated high school, I'm sorry, the very next day after I graduated high school, I graduated high school June 6th of 2000. June 7th of 2000. It was a Wednesday. I got up early in the morning and flew for the first time in my life, never been on a plane, went and flew by myself to Hawaii to go spend 2.5 weeks with David, because at this time we had kind of officially said we were boyfriend and girlfriend. We were just a long distance relationship. So then I stayed out there for 2.5 weeks. I was out there for Father's Day of that year, and I actually called my dad on Father's Day and said, Dad, I'm not coming home. I'm going to stay in Hawaii with David. Happy Father's Day! Worst child in the world award goes to me at that time, because that, like, crushed my dad. I'm his only girl. I'm his only daughter. You know, and he was crushed. He was like, oh, well, all right, Steph. I mean, I was 18. I just finished high school. There's not really much he could say. Well, all hell broke loose when I got off the phone. Ended up, 4 days later, I was calling home to say, hey, I was going to be, when my flight was, because I was going home. So the day before, I was calling home to say, hey, when my flight was, and I had to call collect because I was out of money. And I'm at the phone booth, and I pass out. And that's where this scar came from, because I guess I hit the phone booth, hit the concrete, I don't know. I woke up, and there's some guy on top of me going, don't move, don't move. And I'm freaking out. So, whatever, that's another time. He put me on the plane to send me home. I'm bawling my eyes out. I got a black eye because I done passed out at the phone booth with a patch, with like a bandage on my eye. I'm getting on an 8-hour plane ride, mind you, and I'm bawling my eyes out because the love of my life basically just sent me on my way, and he didn't want to be with me anymore at that point. I was like, oh my god, my life is over. I'm 18 years old. You know, boo-hooing at that time. He didn't even, I mean, I remember looking like I was getting on the plane, and you had a long hallway you walk down before you, I don't even know what those things are. Those like long things that come out and they connect, and then like from the airport you go, you know, through the plane, onto the plane, you know what I'm talking about? I don't know what they're called. But I remember turning around and looking, he had already turned his back and was walking away, like, before I even got to the gate to give him my ticket. He had like turned around and was walking away. I was like, oh my god, I'm so crushed. He doesn't love me anymore. He hates me. Yeah, poor pitiful me, right? So after I came home from Hawaii, we dated off. we dated for a few months. Well, we didn't really speak after that. And then we started dating again. And then we broke it off. Like in September. And then literally, a few weeks maybe after my 19th birthday, I am hungover, laid up in my bed at home, and my mom comes and knocks on the door, and she's like, Steph, David's on the phone. I'm like, what? Out of my hungover stupor. I'm like, what are you talking about? Huh, David? She goes, David's on the phone. So I'm like, okay. So I start talking, we're on the phone, I'm talking, he's like, I miss you, I flew from Hawaii to Kentucky on your birthday, and I was thinking of you, and da-da-da-da-da. So that kind of rekindled what we had previously. And so we were still dating long distance, but this time we weren't states away from each other. We were 4 hours away from each other, really. So then a few weeks or so later, that's when his aunt and uncle had a friend that was going to sell him a car. We drove down to Kentucky, delivered the car and me, and then we dated. So we literally dated on and off for like 2 years. And finally I broke it off with him one day, and that was it. We didn't speak to each other for... Well, I called him once. I know, once or twice after that. But basically, when MySpace was cool, I found him on MySpace, saw that he was married, and I was like hella jealous. Like, he is happy. Oh my God. And I shot him a message on MySpace. Never heard anything back from him. I was like, okay, whatever, A little time goes by. Shot him another message on MySpace, excuse me. And just, that was it. Like, kind of left it at that. He had married, and then I had been in a relationship with my older 2 children's sperm donor. I was in a relationship with him. I had just had our daughter. Okay, she was 2.5 weeks old. And all of a sudden I get this message. It was through MySpace, I think, still. It was 2009, or was it Facebook? Either one of the two. I can't remember right now. But he said, you're single with 2 kids? What's up with that? And I was like, oh hell. That's when it was like, oh. We rekindled what we had 8 years prior, mind you, like 8 years prior. Like I said, my daughter was 2.5 weeks old. My sperm donors was not around, not helping, even though we lived together. I was basically stuck with a 2-year-old and a 2.5-week-old on my own, fresh out of delivery. And David messages me, and basically that's all it took from there. We kept it friendly. He knew my situation. He knew where I was. He didn't know the severity of the situation, but he knew that we had lived together, and it wasn't even not even probably a few days after we had started communicating again that sperm donor was like, get the fuck out of my apartment. I was like, okay. I wasn't working because I hadn't gone back to work because I had just had my daughter. So I went back home. Literally, we were like, he basically, yeah, it was a few days after that he kicked me out. And so I went to live with my parents, and David and I basically rekindled our relationship right after that, like from what we had 8 years prior, like I said. And we didn't waste any time. We moved really fast because we were older, and like probably a month after we had started communicating, he came up to Cincinnati to visit, and we kind of the rest is like history. We're married now. So that was in 2009. We got married, and this picture here is the day before. This was June 4th. I'm sorry, this picture was taken June 18th, 2010. We got married June 19th, 2010. Hi. So guys, that's how I met my husband. And again, this is the tag I was doing with my girl Amanda Sorrencioni. If you haven't checked out her video already, click below. I will have a link to her video. If you've come from Amanda's channel, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you for sticking it out, if you've stuck it out this far. And hit that subscribe button, the like button, thumbs up, whatever the hell it is, to let me know you made it this far. I'd appreciate it. And I will see you guys. Hopefully I see you all in my next video. Bye guys.